Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Yo Vishwanath Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Sutta Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Ki Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadramayan Ki Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Harinam Sankirtan Mahayagna Ki Nitai Gaur Premanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 12, Text number 9. Evam niruktam kshiti shabda vrittam Evam niruktam kshiti shabda vrittam Asannidanat paramanavoye Asannidanat paramanavoye Avidyaya manasa kalpitaste Avidyaya manasa kalpitaste Yesham samuhena kruto vishesha Yesham samuhena kruto vishesha Evam niruktam kshiti shabda vrittam Evam niruktam kshiti shabda vrittam असन्निधानात् परमानवो ये, असन्निधानात् परमानवो ये, अविद्यया मनसा कल्पितास्ते, अविद्यया मनसा कल्पितास्ते, येषां समूहेन कृतो विशेष, येषां समूहेन कृतो विशेष. श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा, श्री श्री गौरनिताय की. एवं thus niruktam, falsely described, kriti shabda of the word earth, vrittam, the existence, asat, not real, nidhanat, from the dissolution, parama anavaha, atomic particles, ye, all of which, avidyaya, because of less intelligence, manasa, in the mind, kalpitaha, imagined, they, yesham, of which, samuhena, by the aggregate, kritaha, made, visheshaha, the particulars. One may say that the varieties arise from the planet Earth itself. However, although the universe may temporarily appear to be the truth, it ultimately has no real existence. The Earth was originally created by a combination of atomic particles. But these particles are impermanent. Actually, the atom is not the cause of the universe. Although some philosophers think so, it is not a fact that the varieties found in this material world simply result from atomic juxtaposition or combination. Purport. Those who follow the atomic theory think that the protons and the electrons of atoms combine in such a way as to bring all material existence into being. However, the scientists failed to discover the cause of the atomic existence itself. Under these circumstances, we cannot accept that the atom is the cause of the universe. Such theories are advanced by unintelligent people. According to real intelligence, the real cause of cosmic manifestation is the Supreme Lord, Janmadhyasya Yataha. He is the original cause of all creation, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 10:8. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattha sarvam pravartate. Krishna is the original cause, Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. Krishna is the cause of atoms, the material energy. Bhumi rapo nalo vayur khammano buddhirevacha. Ahankara iti yamme binna prakriti ashtada. Bhagavad Gita 7:4. The ultimate cause is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and only those in ignorance try to find out other causes by posing different theories. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Yananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Neham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsyam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsya. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Please repeat after me. One may say that the varieties arise from the planet Earth itself. However, although the universe may temporarily appear to be the truth, it ultimately has no real existence. The Earth was originally created by a combination of atomic particles, but these particles are impermanent. Actually, the atom is not the cause of the universe, although some philosophers think so. It is a fact that the varieties found in this material world simply result from atomic juxtaposition or combination. Mukam karoti machalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramananta Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram. Hare Krishna, welcome to the Sunday morning temple program. So in this verse, Jada Bharata is continuing to educate Maharaj Raugana. Maharaj Raugana turns out to be a very astute student. As soon as he realizes that he has done a blunder in ill-treating Jada Bharata, Maharaj Raugana jumps out of his palanquin and apologizes to Jada Bharata, profusely apologizes, notwithstanding that he is a king and Jada Bharata was just a palanquin carrier. He apologizes and then he requests Jada Bharata to further explain what he had earlier stated. Because Maharaj Raugana says that you spoke in a very cryptic manner. I could not understand the full purport of it. Can you please further mercifully elaborate on what you had just said? So, pleased by the attitude of Rahugana, Jada Bharata further explains. So you could see that Maharaj Rahugana was a sincere seeker, though he was acting the role of a king, and initially he insulted and humiliated Jada Bharata. But nevertheless, as soon as he came to his came to his senses, he realized it was a big mistake, a blunder, an offense. And so he requests Jada Bharata for more instructions, for more clarity. So he shows a very nice spiritual inquisitiveness. And as soon as he realizes the extraordinary position of Jada Bharata, inquires further from him. But Jada Bharata also is very quite surprising that in a couple of verses in this chapter, you see that Jada Bharata is very stern and very firm. Maybe he's testing Maharaj Rahugana even more. So Jada Bharata in verse number 7 says, "It is a fact, however, that these innocent people carrying your palanquin without payment are certainly suffering due to this injustice." So Jada Bharata chastises Maharaj Rahugana, saying, "You seem to think you're a big king or a big personality, but you should be ashamed that you're committing some injustice. You're exploiting innocent people. You're making them carry your palanquin and without paying them, without rewarding them for their endeavor." So Jada Bharata also is, like I said, maybe he's testing Rahugana. And then he further goes on. Jada Bharata doesn't stop there. Jada Bharata goes on saying, "Their condition is very lamentable because you have forcibly engaged them in carrying your palanquin." He's saying this is forced labor. You have forcibly engaged them. You have maybe used force or threatened them. You're engaging them in carrying your palanquin. So this is not correct. This is not fair. This is wrong. This is exploitation. You're exploiting innocent, vulnerable living entities by forcing them to carry your palanquin. And further, Bharata goes on. He doesn't spare Rahugana. Further, he goes on and says, "This proves that you're cruel and unkind." Imagine Bharata speaking to the king. He says, "You are cruel and unkind." What kind of a king are you? You're under this false impression that you're maintaining them or you're protecting them or you're taking care of them. Actually, you're being cruel and unkind. And yet, due to false prestige, you were thinking that you are protecting the citizens. So, Jada Bharata goes on and then delivers another thunderbolt to Rahugana. He says, in spite of exploiting them, not paying, forcibly engaging them, insulting them, now you are thinking that you are also their protector due to your false pride. So, this is, imagine the king is standing there with folded hands in front of Bharata and Bharata is lashing out. But, like I said, maybe it's a test. Maybe it's to see how genuine a spiritual seeker Rahugana is. And then he says, "This is ludicrous." Ludicrous means very pathetic, very wrong, completely wrong and very exploitative. Ludicrous means something that doesn't make sense at all, completely senseless activity. So you're being ludicrous also. And then he says, "You were such a fool that you could not have been adored as a great man in an assembly of persons advanced in knowledge." That means if you were to behave like this in an assembly of learned people, they would consider that you are a fool. So he says, "You're a fool, you're ludicrous, you're an exploiter, you're very unkind, you're very unjust, you're cruel, you have false ego." all in one shloka, shloka number 7. He gives him. But sometimes they say in the scriptures that the anger of the Vaishnava or that of the Lord is also actually beneficial. They, sometimes when we become angry out of envy, out of pride, out of jealousy, out of frustration, out of non-fulfillment of our desires, or out of pride. We think that that person has not sufficiently respected me, or given me the kind of adoration, whatever that I think I deserve. So we become angry because of that. Most often it is because of that, our own frustration. Of course, that is not to say that all anger is like that. Sometimes, of course, we do show anger for some genuine reason. But even the way we show anger is mixed with pride. We have some pride. I'm right, you're wrong. So, either that pride that I'm right, I'm superior, I'm senior, I'm greater, I'm better, I'm this, I'm that. It's always mixed with some material contamination, more or less, always. So our anger is mixed. It is not genuine. I mean, if we were to compare the anger of, let's say, the Lord or a genuine, soft-hearted Vaishnava, so the anger tends to be the anger tends to be very different in nature. Our anger, like I said, is more vicious. It's more. Sometimes we are revengeful also. We are vengeful. We are vindictive. Oh, he did this to me. He deserves it. So he has done a mistake. Now I'll catch him. Like that. So we are vengeful. We are vindictive. So our anger is contaminated most often. So we should reflect carefully before showing anger on somebody. But when someone like Jada Bharata or the Lord or Vaishnavas show anger, by the way, they show anger very rarely, very, very rarely, very carefully, in a very mindful, thoughtful, careful manner, they display their anger. Because typically the Lord or the Vaishnava, their overwhelming mood is that of compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, etc. This we can see in the Lord as well as the Vaishnavas, the genuine Vaishnavas. So their mood is that who doesn't do mistakes? Everybody does mistakes. Doesn't matter. Pardon him. Carry on. Don't humiliate him. Don't insult him. Don't make him a exemplary case and get on his case, etc. Publicly humiliate him or insult him. Don't do that. Sometimes that may lead to a trauma that lasts a long, 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 long time. So don't do that. Help them get over mistakes. So the mood of the Vaishnavas tends to be extremely different. Sometimes they do show anger. Like in this case, Bharata is showing anger on Raugana. Because he wants to probably shake Raugana out of his slumber or his steeped in pride and ignorance, and so he wants to shake him out. But see, immediately after that, Bharata is also correcting him, is also educating him, is also. So here we see that he is angry, but he is angry with the deed and not with the person. So sometimes there's a big difference between the two. We become angry with the person. We mix the two things, what he has done and the person. We mix it up and then we end up becoming angry with the person and the deed. It's all mixed up. But typically when the devotees, Vaishnavas, even when they show anger, it is mixed with the compassion, support, help, hand-holding, and empathizing, like that. So it's done very, very thoughtfully and carefully. Like in the Vaishnava tradition, we use this word sandwich. I'm sure all of you are familiar with that. So we speak something very nice about the devotee. We speak something very nice, genuinely nice. We tell him, if you don't mind, why don't you think about this aspect of your behavior, your conduct? Maybe this can change. This is not correct. This is not right. This is not conducive. This can harm you. This is offensive. This is mistake. You're showing weakness. You're showing this. You're showing that. Then again end it with another layer of encouragement. You're actually a very nice devotee, but just that you need to change this little bit. If you change this little bit, then you'll be more successful as a devotee. So they use this, what is known as the sandwich method. So they appreciate the devotee, genuinely appreciate, because, and then apply the correction, then again get back to appreciating. So it is said that when somebody, we chastise or we correct somebody, it's not at the end of this exercise that person should become a moral wreck. He should become depressed. He should become uh, he should become hopeless. He should feel hopeless or helpless. No, he should feel that um, yes, it's a mistake I have done. I shouldn't have done that. But I need to correct myself. I should be careful in future. I should be very thoughtful. I should be, etc. And I'm lucky to have somebody who's so empathizing with me, who empathizes with me, sympathizes, and he's supporting me. I'm lucky to be under the care of someone like that. Sometimes in our scriptures, we see that people do much bigger. I mean, Rauguna treated somebody like a palanquin carrier because he was a king. He thought he was entitled to that. He's entitled, he's a king, and people should carry him around on a palanquin. He's entitled. That was what he thought it was his entitlement. But sometimes we see that if you read, say for example, the Leela where Brahma mistakes Krishna for a little boy in Vrindavan, small kid in Vrindavan. And, it said that Brahma looked at Krishna holding some food in one hand and walking around in the forest and apparently helplessly searching for the calves which Brahma had stolen and hidden them away. Very helplessly searching for calves and tearfully searching and helplessly searching. So Brahma thought, this cannot be Krishna. This definitely cannot be Krishna. So he says, all right, so he keeps the calves in a cave, shuts the door of the cave, and says, all right, let me see what happens, or something like that. Then he comes back after a year of year after the earthly time. And he comes back and sees, and that Krishna, that little boy who was holding some food on one hand and maybe a flute in the other, is playing with those calves again. Playing with the calves, playing with the cowherd boys, playing with everybody, blissfully. And Brahma thinks, what happened? How did the calves manage to escape from the cave where I had eaten them? And he goes back and sees that the calves are there. So then Brahma realizes that there's been some mistake in his calculation or his understanding of Krishna. And then, of course, Krishna reveals himself. But the point I want to make is that at the end of this whole pastime, Brahma realizes that just as Maharaj Rauguna also becomes very apologetic, very careful, and very genuinely regretful, remorseful and regretful of his transgression. Brahma has done a much bigger offense. Imagine hiding Krishna's calves, going away for a year and then coming back to see what's happening. So, and then he realizing that he tested his own authority, his own boss, his supreme boss, his creator. So there's a whole chapter dedicated to, pretty long chapter actually, very long chapter, dedicated to Brahma offering prayers to Krishna, saying that I thought I could fool you, but it turned out that I'm a bigger fool. I'm the real fool in the whole equation. I'm the real fool. So it's very nice if you read Brahma's prayers of realization as he comes and confesses to Krishna that he made this mistake of trying to test Krishna's power and thereby offending Krishna, seriously offending Krishna. And then he comes and then he compares himself with the gopis and the gopas and the cows and the calves of Vrindavan, and he says that maybe they didn't go to any college or they don't seem to have any formal education or gurukul or anything, but you're playing with them, my lord. You're engaging in very, very transcendentally sweet, very sweet Madhura, very sweet Leelas with all of them. You're playing with them as if you're one among them, as if you're one among them, you're like them. And you're giving them so much transcendental joy by mingling with them as if you're just another cowherd boy, just like all of them are. So, what a rare privilege they've earned. What is it they would have done to earn this privilege of becoming your companions? Not only that, what a rare privilege. What is it they would have done to give you so much pleasure and happiness? That you're so blissfully immersed in this happy, transcendental leelas that you're performing with all these boys, these little boys, and the cows and the calves and the gopis. You're immersed. You're completely, I mean, and uh, and I see that there's so much spontaneous love and affection that they have for you, that there doesn't seem to be any trace of any material contamination in their hearts. All they have is love for you. All they have is love, and you're reciprocating also equally generously by giving yourself completely to them, saying, I'm one of yours, do what you like with me. In that mood, you're giving yourself. What a wonderful lesson I've learned today, that it's not education, it is not scholarly, what is it? Scholarship, it is not austerity, it is not none of these things that attract you. It's the kind of um, loving sentiment of wanting to serve and please you that attracts you. And I completely lack that. It's missing in me. I don't have it at all. I'm so conscious that I am the firstborn. I was born out of the navel and the lotus flower, and like that. I was the firstborn. I am the most intelligent. I create cycle after cycle, and I'm very conscious of that. So much so that uh, uh, I don't have the same kind of soft heart that all these residents of Vrindavan seem to be having and relishing your association. I'm always conscious that I'm Brahma, I'm this, and I'm one of the three authorities. And by the way, I also always thought that I am the principal creator. Somehow that contamination came into my mind. And then Brahma makes a very nice, towards the end of his prayer, he makes a very nice analogy, comparison. And he requests the Lord to forgive him. The analogy is very interesting. Brahma tells the Lord that actually you are the creator. We are all created. We are all living entities, beings created by you. And this is your creation. It's like we are the living entities, and then this whole universe, the whole creation can be compared to the womb of a mother. So we're all inside because this is yours. This whole thing you have created. So Brahma says we are like small living entities inside the womb of a mother, and you are that mother in your womb. We are resting here, and and then he says, just as the kid in the womb may sometimes flay his arms and legs, and it appears like the kid in the womb is kicking the mother with its tiny leg. It's just playing around with his hands and legs. So, will the mother take offense? So Brahma will speak like this to Krishna, very intelligently, of course, very nicely, very metaphorically, very sweet. He says, will the mother take offense if the little baby kicks from inside the womb, or even for that matter, if the little baby the mother is holding, playing around with the legs and kicks the mother, apparently kicks the mother? Will the mother take offense? Will the mother be upset? Will the mother be angry? Will the mother think it's a big offense or something like that? No. The mother will tolerate. The mother will look at it as an act of love or something like that. And the Brahma says, I'm ashamed, but right now that is my pathetic position. I'm asking you to kindly forgive me, like a mother forgives a little child. Please forgive me. Though uh, the kid in question is a very innocent young kid, and so mother doesn't take offense. I'm grown up, but just as the mother forgives, I'm asking you that you should look at me also as being as ignorant and lack of no ignorant and no knowledge as a child is in front of the mother, as a small child is in the womb. I'm no better. Brahma says, I'm no better. I'm like that. Because of my pride and my arrogance, I just don't know. I just forgot who you are and who I am. So Brahma says, will you kindly forgive me, forgive me for being so offensive. So, and then the interesting thing is, after making all these set of prayers, Brahma, see the difference between our anger and that of the Supreme Lord is so starkly evident in this pastime. At the end of this prayer that Brahma makes, very nice prayer. Sometime, if you get the time, people should read it. The Krishna book or in the Bhagavatam. The prayers offered, I've seen that by the same token, by the same yardstick, prayers offered by Indra are also very interesting. So at the end of the prayers, Indra, after this whole Govardhan pastime, Indra also makes the mistake of not understanding the real position of Krishna. And tests, just as Brahma did, Indra also. Of course, Indra not really testing. Indra thought that Krishna is up to trying to grab what is rightfully mine. They were doing Indra Yajna, everything was being offered to me year after year for many, many years. Now this little kid has come, he's stealing my offering. Maybe he wants it. In the name of giving it to Govardhan, maybe he wants to enjoy the offerings that are being made. And he's snatching what is rightfully mine. That is what Indra thought. So Indra also makes a mistake. Indra also becomes very, very regretful, very apologetic, very gentle after the mistake. So it's nice actually if we do a mistake. One way of handling it is to hang around on the platform of pride and pride, etc., and deny, argue back, or refuse to accept, or even just plain lie. So one way of dealing with mistakes that we do is like that, but that we're actually complicating our life, our situation, our own. We are further. It's like compounding the mistake that we have done. We have already done a mistake. Now we are doing another mistake to try to cover up this mistake. That's not a very good way of doing things. Another way is, grudgingly accept. What can I do? He is my authority. I have to accept what he says, etc., etc. So very grudgingly accept that, as if he doesn't do mistake. Everybody does mistake. He's just targeting me because he doesn't like me actually. He's envious of me or something. Very grudgingly, angrily try to accept when someone tries to correct you. Or the other way is what Maharaj Raghuna is showing, Indra did, Brahma did. Gracefully accept. Go back to Krishna, go back to your Guru and say, it was a mistake. It was a horrible blunder. I don't know how it happened. It just happened. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have behaved like that. I shouldn't have criticized. I should have been more careful. I was too accepted. I was too envious. I was too angry. I had a bad day or whatever. But I am completely unconditionally apologizing. Unconditionally. I don't want to. But then, of course, we also have to be careful that this so-called unconditionally apologizing should not become a regular habit. Then it's not. Then we're not being sincere. Genuinely, when we do a mistake, we go back to Krishna, whoever, Guru, Krishna, Vaishnavas, Kali. Actually, the gracefulness in accepting a mistake is when you do a mistake and it involves somebody who's not your peer, but maybe someone who works under you, below you or something. So that is a real test. We have to have the courage to go back to that person and say, please forgive me. I shouldn't have behaved that way. Just because I'm your boss doesn't give me the right to scream at you, yell at you, shout at you in public at any time or anyways. Just because I'm your boss or you did some mistake. I'm sorry about that. I shouldn't have humiliated you. If you can kind of, like that, forgive me. So, one is to grudgingly accept. One is to not accept at all. One is to deny, live in denial. One is to gracefully accept and say, because it is said that failure is a stepping stone to success, especially in Vaishnava dealings. People look for that. Vaishnavas look for that. See, how genuine is this person? Is he willing to accept a mistake gracefully and seek pardon, apologize, and then move on? It's, we shouldn't think that we are perfect and we are incapable of doing mistakes. No, it won't happen. We can do. If Brahma can do, Shiva did, Indra did, so many others were caught out doing some miscalculation, some anger outburst, anger episode, some whatever, some provocation. So they do some mistake. Anybody is capable of. We're all tatastha shakti, jivas, tatastha marginal. We're not always perfect in our life, or so we're capable. And then there is this whole statement: "Do unto others as you would want others to do unto you." It's a very nice proverb in English. I think it's of biblical origin. It's there in the Bible. So do unto others as you want others to do unto you. If you do a mistake, you ask yourself one question: how would you like to be treated? How would you wish to be treated? You want someone to, throw you under the bus, like they say, hammer you, and like they say, sometimes they use this phrase, they call crushing the false ego type. You want someone to do that to you, or do you want somebody to empathize, understand, and give you a chance, forgive you, and give you a chance, and not insult and humiliate you? Sometimes mistakes are complicated, pretty grievous mistakes. Sometimes the guru or people may not even disclose this to others. They'll say, all right, because if this becomes common public knowledge, then that person will have to probably live in shame all his life, he and his family. So sometimes they don't even let others people know. They just handle it in a very, very mindful and sympathetic manner. The principle being, give them a chance. Anybody is capable of doing mistakes. Nobody is perfect. You should never think that because I am in a position to judge others' mistakes, I am immune to committing mistakes. No. We could do serious mistakes. I remember one time when I was new into management position. So one of the advice that His Holiness Japataka Maharaj gave me was that he said, see, you will be a man who will be asked to take decisions, sometimes very crucial decisions involving people's life, people's conduct, people's behavior, etc., etc. He said, never get carried away by hearing one side of the story. Never get carried away. No matter how convincing it appears to be, how complete, perfect it appears to be, who is the person, never get carried away. Be patient, hold your mind, hold your judgment till you hear both sides or all sides. Don't judge. Don't prematurely judge. It could be very wrong. Wait, understand both sides also. And then pray to Krishna saying, I don't know, it's complicated. If left to myself, I might make the wrong decision. Sometimes we make wrong decisions because we have a prejudice. We don't like somebody. We dislike somebody. We have been hurt by that person. We wish that person ill. We don't like. We wish him ill. We wish him disaster, whatever, disaster, destruction, whatever. Because he's been bad to us. So if we are caught out in a situation like that, you should never be the only person who decides. Make sure there's one more person who's neutral with you, and together you make a decision. So this whole thing about dealing with a mistake, a wrongdoing, is so is a great opportunity to learn and move forward as a devotee, as a Vaishnava, as a gentle Vaishnava, as a gentle, heartful, sympathetic Vaishnava. Every opportunity. So we have to be cautious and careful. So Indra comes back and then apologizes to Krishna and says that I'm so ashamed about my mistake, that what I have done. I don't think I'm qualified even to stand in front of you. That is the level, that is the scale of mistake I've done. It's unimaginably wrong what I have done. To mistake you, think that you will want to steal something that is rightfully mine. Krishna says, why would I want to do that? I am Atmaram, I have everything. I don't need to steal from you. I don't need to steal from anything from anybody. I'm self-sufficient, I'm self-satisfied, I'm complete by my complete in all ways and respects myself. Yeah, Krishna genuinely is indebted to those who show love for him, but he's not he's not a petty person who like to steal from Brahma or Indra or somebody. What is their rightful share of worship or something? So Indra says that I'm so apologetic. I can't imagine how I did this. It's because of my pride. Because I mean, Indra because of the power and authority he enjoys. Poor Indra every now and then makes a error, judgmental error, mistake, and gets caught out because of this pride, negligence, arrogance, overconfidence. Because he has so much power and authority. All the apsaras are dancing always whenever he wants in his court. All the devatas are coming and paying him respects. The stages, everybody is coming. He's known as he's the king of this heavenly planets, like that. So he has a good reason to feel very, very proud and carried away. So he somehow, poor Indra, commits those kind of mistakes. But every time he does commit those mistakes, either the person gives him a escape route. He says, "Okay, I'm cursing you to become like this, but don't worry. Years later, sometime Krishna will save you. XYZ, or somebody will save you. Don't worry. You can redeem yourself. There'll be a redemption time. You can redeem yourself of your sin." So mistakes we should expect, we should anticipate, we should. But like I said, it's a test of our sincerity. It's a test of our uh, genuineness. Um, it's a test of our mm, what can I say? How careful we are. Like I said, do unto others what you would want others to do unto you. How much you believe in that principle. Um, so we have to be careful. So uh, we can't nurse grudges in the mind because someone tries to correct us, or someone tries to point out you could have done better, you could have decided carefully, you decided prematurely, you were too heavy. You just have to bend your head, take it and say, I'm sorry if I've overreacted. I'm sorry if I've reacted prematurely. I apologize. I'll genuinely try to be more careful in future. When such a thing happens, I'll try and remember. I'll pray to Krishna that I shouldn't do this kind of uh, mm, uh, transgressions and blunders in my life ever again. I'll pray. That's the biggest weapon I have. My biggest weapon is to express regret, express remorse, regret, apologize, seek forgiveness, and pray. That, but Krishna says sometimes the Vaishnava concerned may forgive you, but the dust on the lotus feet of the Vaishnava will not forgive you. So Krishna says, I mean, like that. So one has to be careful. You see here that Raghuna reacts in a very graceful manner. He says, yes, I did a mistake. I shouldn't have treated you like that. I am ignorant. This is a very temporary phenomenon. Raghuna is saying, some atoms get together and become palanquin, some atoms get together and become Rahugana, some atoms get together, become palanquin carrier. Actually, in a broader sense, in a universal sense, all are same. All are just atoms. What is this? Where did you get this pride from? Thinking that you're entitled to insulting them or humiliating them or being cruel and unkind. Where did you get this self-appointed right from? So Rahugana is grateful to Jada Bharata, saying, thank you for educating me. Thank you for illuminating my dark heart, which is full of this kind of a pride. So obviously, these we have to learn. The faster we learn, the faster we learn, the more we learn this spirit of accepting our mistakes and not blindly arguing and posturing and denying and blaming people as being envious or something like that. we make a big step forward. We make a huge step forward in our bhakti. And that step, that mood is very pleasing to Krishna. So Krishna tells Indra, I don't want my devotees, especially those whom I have empowered with special powers, to be under the influence of pride. That I have not given you this power so that you can become proud. You should always remember it's given by me. It's my power, my authority. I've given it to you. Please use it judiciously, carefully, understanding that it is not yours, it's mine. It's given to you for a certain period of certain purpose, certain period of time, and certain for a certain divine arrangement that I have in mind. I'm empowering you. So you should be careful. So coming back to the story of Brahma, Brahma makes one very, very. He gives this example of how this little child is there in the womb of the mother, and the mother won't feel upset if the child's leg touches mother's body. Rather, she looks at it in a very as a loving, as an act of love, like that. So Krishna has love for all the living entities. Vaishnavas should have, because Krishna has. We should also have the same kind of mood towards all the living entities. And in fact, it's said that sometimes somebody does a mistake. It is said that mm, Vaishnavas feel sad for him, saying, I hope Krishna excuses him. I hope Krishna pardons him. I hope Krishna forgives him. I hope everybody forgives him so he doesn't have to suffer for that. I hope he learns his lesson and Krishna forgives him. Vaishnavas pray like that. Vaishnavas are like, that is why the Vaishnavas are the most glorious people in this whole world, in this whole creation. Coming back to Brahma. Brahma then says that part of my pride and arrogance is because of the position that I have. And because of the position that you have given me, I am such an important person. I think I am the creator of this cosmos, etc. And you are the hidden cause, because you are hidden. Sometimes I tend to forget that you are the cause of all causes. You are the supreme cause, like in today's verse also. In the purport it is said that ultimate cause is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only those in ignorance trying to find other causes. Of course, this is part of Raghuna's teaching. I mean, teachings being given to Raghuna. So Brahma says, maybe it's good for me that I don't have this power. I become a simple person again, because this is what is polluting my consciousness, polluting my thinking style. I feel I'm a special person. Maybe I shouldn't be given this. Maybe it's bad for me. Maybe it's not good. Sometimes I've seen people who say, refuse positions of management, saying, I don't want to take the risk because it may get into my head that I'm entitled, I'm special, I'm empowered, I'm a skilled, I'm a special devotee, I'm very capable, I'm this, I'm that. And God knows, then I might even commit some offenses, by being judgmental and so on. So they refuse to take positions, etc., authority, power, or something like that. So here, Brahma says, maybe it's a good thing, good medicine for me would be that I don't have this kind of a power at all. I don't have this authority. I become a simple person, because I'm worried that maybe I'll commit the same mistake again if I have this power and authority. And look at these so-called simple residents of Vrindavan, how they're enjoying your association. How spontaneously loving feeling they have towards you, and how generously you're reciprocating with each one of them. There doesn't seem to be even the slightest trace of pride in their dealings with you. Of course, to the extent, it is the only thing you can see in them is their love for you, not pride. They have so much love for you that to a large extent they are not even conscious of the fact that you are the Supreme Lord. Not in an offensive way. Brahma also made that mistake by not recognizing Krishna as the Supreme Lord. But Brahma's mistake was out of pride. But the Vrindavan Vrajavasis, dealings with Krishna is out of love. They love Krishna the person, not Krishna the creator. Krishna the Tribhanga, all attractive, all wonderful, all mischievous personality. And not Krishna the creator, the Mula, Sarva Karana Karanam, Adi Purusha. No, not that Krishna. They may not even be conscious that this Krishna and that the same Krishna actually. They may not even be conscious. So Brahma says that I am deeply admiring this love that they're having. They're actually, he says, the whole of Vrindavan Dham is special because I can only see loving dealings, complete lack of pride, very, very gentle, loving, sweet dealings. And these dealings are getting sweeter and sweeter and sweeter with time. So Brahma makes this prayer saying that maybe I should be, maybe I should stay here. Maybe I should be born here. But I'm too ashamed. I don't think I'm qualified, in any way qualified to ask, please give me the birth of a Gopa or this or that. I'm not qualified. I'm fallen. I have pride. Maybe if I get that birth, maybe I'll become proud or something. Maybe something truly insignificant in the Vrindavan Dham. That's how Brahma makes this very classic prayer. Prabhupada quotes that very often also. Many acharyas quote that. Brahma makes this prayer saying, maybe the right thing for me is to be born as a blade of grass in Vrindavan. That would be a rightful honor for me. Privilege, honor, blessing for me to be born as a blade of grass in Vrindavan. And that way I have access to the dust of the lotus feet of these devotees. They will trample me, and that way I get to touch the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees. So Brahma makes that kind of a prayer when he is awakened from his position of pride. So there will be tests in spiritual life. Sometimes somebody will get real heavy, somebody will get nasty, somebody will some unintentional mistake, and then they'll feel very upset, and then some careless words get mixed up and then blow up on your face. But we have to understand that all of this is probably a test by Krishna to see how we will react. Like I said, the principle three ways. One is to deny, one is to argue back, and one is to accept gracefully and say, I'm extremely sorry. Whether the person concerned is superior, peer, or less than you. We have to get back and say, I'm sorry. See, when it's a mistake, is a mistake. We cannot say because he was less than me, I'm more senior to him. Mistake is okay. He's junior. I don't have to worry so much as I worry about some mistake that I do towards my guru or something. No. Mistake is a mistake. I remember once time Mavara Prabhu was sharing a pastime. He said that Guru Maharaj became very angry with him at one time, and Guru Maharaj chastised him, and Mavara became very bewildered by that heavy chastisement that he got. Guru Maharaj was the early days when Mavara became secretary of His Holiness Japataka Maharaj. He says after that, the next day morning, Guru Maharaj called him and said, I don't think I should have reacted so heavily. You're new, you're just coming to my service, so you're probably not aware of everything. I can see that you're genuinely sincere, genuine, etc. It's a mistake. I don't think I should have chastised you like that. And Guru Maharaj told me, I'm requesting you to kindly forgive me. Maharaj is his disciple. So this is the mistake is a mistake. We have to own it up. Whether we do it towards a small child, a young devotee, a newcomer, or peer, or guru. We cannot say I'll take only those that I do towards my guru or deities or this, and less significant. No. So So in this pastime, besides the fact that Raugana is being educated, being taught, but there's this whole thing, how Raugana is reacting when Jada Bharata chastises him. This is real heavy chastisement. In one shloka, he gives it all. He says, you're cruel, you're unkind, you're, you're full of proud, you're a fool. Like that, in one verse, he gives it all. But Raugana takes it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Thank you very much. Any questions? Nothing? Nobody? Okay, at least one or two of you can mention one or two things that very striking in this verse and in this pastime. You can say.
First of all, thank you very much for a wonderful class. I was thinking when I heard the translation and purport, I was thinking it was going in terms of creation discussion. But the way you brought out the personality aspect of Jada Bharata and how he interacted with Raghunan and taught him the important lessons of pridelessness and not being attached to one's position was very, very enlightening. Personally, for my life also, I have done many blunders in Krishna consciousness as an authority towards somebody or as a subordinate to somebody. And personally, I felt that the way you said to become gentle, as soon as we understand there is a mistake committed, we should sit back and understand what was the situation totally, and we should become gentle. That gentle response doesn't come out so often. I mean, immediately there is a reaction, which is impetuous. So it helped me personally to think about it again and in my responses going forward.
Thank you. Nice comment. Anybody else?
One question, Prabhu. Prabhu, when sometimes when we say correct some devotee, we are having false pride in general. It's not like we are free from the false ego. So if the devotee feels bad, which we cannot pre-understand, like we can't understand before what way he will react. We are trying our best to serve, but now that devotee feels bad. So if we seek forgiveness, it may be from our viewpoint, sharing our genuine situation of that I have a false pride, but it may also not be good for him in terms of what he needs to learn. He may think, okay, this person is actually, he spoke like this because he was having. So is it service to actually seek forgiveness, or is it service to keep oneself with Lord and the Guru and share the forgiveness to him?
Okay, so you're saying that sometimes when we correct somebody, it is necessary to be firm and stern and very, lay down the rules like that type. And sometimes maybe we cross the line and it becomes the person feels bad or feels depressed and like that. So how do we deal with this situation? Should I go back and apologize to him? See, I've heard one golden formula. The formula is that if you are counseling somebody, if you are trying to correct somebody, at the end of the whole exercise, that person should not feel more depressed, more hopeless, more miserable, more hope. Wait. I think it's better I give up devotional life. I'm unqualified. I can't do. I'm not capable at all. This is too much, etc. He shouldn't feel like that. He should actually feel that, okay, I better be careful. I better be more cautious. I better be. See, he should be able to look at life in future with some hope, not in a very depressed, morose way. You should look at life in okay, if I can deal with it. So any correction should be, it's complete only when you give him a method by which he can improve himself. A correction is not complete unless you give that also. So it's not that we just, our responsibility finishes by chastising him or giving him sauce or hot chili sauce or whatever. Our responsibility is complete only when that person turns around and becomes a better devotee. So we have to do hand holding. See, if you think you are entitled to correct somebody, your entitlement to correct somebody is because your ultimate desire is to make him a better devotee. You have to keep that as a vision. Is this going to help him become a better devotee? Will he introspect? Will he think carefully? Will he be careful in future? Or will he become hopeless and depressed and go into a, panic mode or something like that? So we have to, our intervention in his life is to make him a better devotee, better human being, more gentle. Like I said, he when he reflects back on what happened to him, he did this blunder, he did this mistake. He should not think that I was so humiliated, I was insulted. It leaves a bitter trauma in my mind and heart. No, it should not be like that. He should always think, yeah, he got heavy, but he also held my hand. He said, come, I'll take you along with me. It's not the end of life, it's not the end of anything actually. Let's make a new beginning from tomorrow. See, your job is to keep trying. If he doesn't reform, that's between him, Guru, and Krishna. But we can't let go of our hand. So, if the goal of our intervention in his life is to make him a better devotee, so we should work towards achieving that goal. See, our involvement with him should never be transactional. He did a mistake, I gave him sauce, I chastised him. It's not like that. That's very wrong. He did a mistake, I want him to become a better devotee, understand, empathize. So maybe you can say things like, I'm very sorry I have to say these things. I hope you don't mind. I hope you'll understand in the right spirit. Look, this is what you did. It was pretty unauthorized. It was not correct. It was wrong. You did this, you did that. I'm sorry I'm having to state this, but if I don't say this to you now, who knows, you'll commit a bigger mistake, a bigger blunder. So I'm telling you this, but I'm also telling you, look, this I'd love to help you to get back on your feet, get back to devotion. But maybe it's the right thing for you to take a small break, 6 months, go elsewhere or do this service. So you reflect on the mistake you've done. See, he should be participant in the correction process. It can't be unilateral. I decide, I'll tell you, and you do it. No. Maybe it'll work sometime, but that's not, I don't know how Vaishnava that is. You have to take him on board and say, these are the options. Either you have to wear white or this or that, or do this service, this correction. You choose. Because we think it is necessary for you. Otherwise, you've done such a huge thing, such a big blunder, that some kind of a correctional process you have to agree to undergo. You choose. Give him an option out of 1 or 2 or 3. Say you choose. But please remember at all points of time that I'm your well-wisher, I'm with you, I'm always, you want to share something, you want to come back to me, you feel bad, somebody is insulting you, somebody is humiliating you, come back to me, I'm there, I'll support you. Please treat me as your well-wisher, as your brother, as your member of your, whatever, well-wisher. He should feel that this correction is coming from a well-wisher and not a rule maker. You should get a buy-in from the affected party. Then it will work better. It can't be unilateral. I will decide. This is what I have decided. We have decided. Now this is the punishment. You go here, do this, do that. I don't know how effectively that will work. So you should get a buy-in. And like I said, what is your goal? Your goal is you want him to become a better devotee, and he should know you will do hand holding with him until you achieve that goal. You are not going to give up. If he gives up, you will feel sad about it, but you will not give up. Yeah.
In the same connection, I wanted to ask. So, should the apology be a part of our correction while we are giving the correction, or should we be firm at that time, give some space, make him undergo some introspection, and then come back with apology? Sometimes we are very bad with the sense of timing of the apology. So sometimes there is a lot of distance that increases in the relationship when we give that correction. So how to understand when to come? Because if we apologize right at that time, so that correction may not be taken with
apologize means
gravity.
who apologizes?
We as a authority.
As a person who's caretaker who's correcting him. Is that your question? Just a minute. I got a stiff leg. Okay. See, there is no single formula. You can't work on it. It is pretty case based. Sometimes if the person is sufficiently senior, then you have to be very, very careful. Saying, I'm sorry, I've had to bring this up, but that act of yours was not properly received. So you tell me how you want to deal with it. I'm very sorry, I have to present these things to you. You tell me, how do you want to deal with it? You're very senior. So then he will understand that you're giving him respect for what he was, what he is, what he did, recognizing his services or everything, and then you're respecting him and then saying, at the same time you're saying, see, it can't go on like this. There has to be some correction. So you choose. I'll help you choose if you wish. I'm junior to you, but if you so wish, I'll help you. But please remember that I have the greatest of respect for you, for what you have done, your sacrifices, your services, etc., etc. And then I don't like having to do this. It's a very thankless job. But that does not mean you're any less respectful to me. I understand mistakes can happen. See, when mistakes happen repeatedly, then it's a different type of a situation. One-off mistakes, we should be careful. See, I'll tell you, His Holiness Japataka Maharaj once told us that if someone does a mistake, he says it's like he's fighting a battle with Maya, he's hurt, he's injured. How would you treat an injured person? So you take him, give him the best of attention, best of care, in a war scenario, medical care. The same way is come. You give him care, you give him love, you give him understanding, you give him empathy. You appreciate what he has done. It's not easy to fight Maya. So you let him understand that you're appreciating him, and then you're understanding that, okay, something happened, it could have happened to me also, it's happened to you. That doesn't make me any great holy man, you less. Mistakes can happen to anybody, anytime. That doesn't make me or place me on a much higher pedestal than you are. I also have all kinds of, whatever, lust, greed, envy. I'm loaded with that. It's just that it didn't burst open. But it could anytime. It doesn't place me on a much higher pedestal because I am correcting you. I'm helping. I'm supporting you. I'm helping you. I'm with you. I handhold you. I want to make sure that the wounds of this are healed. And I'll be the happiest man to see that you're fully restored in your full glory as a devotee, as a warrior, as a leader or something. If Krishna wants that to happen at the earliest, I'll be the happiest man. I'll celebrate when you come back. We should try and genuinely feel, because Prabhupada said Vaishnavas are so rare. And leaders who care are even more rarer. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki.